engineer, entrepreneur, and changemaker. Mr. Amirul Merican, an alumni of KYUEM class of 2014, and a former Shell scholar, drew from the experiences he acquired as strategy and consulting analyst at Accenture to dedicate his career in developing sustainable agricultural innovations. On top of that, Mr. Amirul possesses a track record of founding impactful startups such as KYUEM, a successful biotech venture that specializes in manufacturing sustainable products focused on insect protein and organic fertilizer.
Last year, Mr. Amirul also co-founded Qarbotech, a pioneering social enterprise tackling food security and climate change, advancing biocompatible carbon quantum dots technology to enhance photosynthesis in leafy plants. As Mr. Amirul continues to drive innovation in finding sustainable solutions in agricultural technology, he is here now to inspire the next generation to think big, act boldly, and to make a difference. So please welcome to the stage Mr. Amirul Merican.
Hello everyone. Wow, my first time. All this lighting. I don't know how result it is. Hi, thank you. It's such an honor to be back in KYUEM. I can't see you guys, I am blinded. Thank you, Idelia, for reaching out to LinkedIn, and thank you to the organizing committee for organizing this event. So today I hope to ignite some spark in all of you through my journey into entrepreneurship, or my journey in life, all the key learnings I had from all the different phases of my life. So I'll start with my high school. How do I press this? So I went to a normal day school. So I was in Hartamas. Any one of you guys from Hartamas here? Wow, nice. Back then it was only just me and my friend, two of us from Hartamas that got into KY. So what I want to, I guess, share or impart on you guys is my learning from my high school. Back in Hartamas, I was not a runner, I was not a sportsman. Form 1 to Form 4, I didn't even participate in sprinting event. At my house, like here you have Garden, you have all this Topaz, Fire, and Diamond. Back in my high school, we had 5 houses, and Purple House always, I guess, land on number 4 or 5. They are the loser house. They're like the Sapphire when I was in KY. So when I was in Form 5, they made me into a sportsman of Purple House. And I wanted to prove to the teachers who appointed me to be the sportsman that I could do something. So I trained really, really hard to sprint. I trained after I come back from school, I would practice. I love playing football, so I play football. I practice, I watch how Usain Bolt trains. I really put and set my mind into, you know what, I need to score a lot of goals, a lot of medals so that I can, I guess, position Purple House into a better ranking house. So I did that. I worked so hard and I was awarded, and if you guys ask me today, what is the thing that I am most proud of, it will be that. I got Olahraga 1 and I was awarded Olahraga 1 of the year. So, when I did that, I said to myself, wow, if I truly aim for something and I set a goal, I truly can do that and achieve that if I work real hard. And with that, you know the saying, badan cerdas, otak cerdas? So essentially, if your body is active, your mind is as well as active. So that year, 2011, was my SPM year. Yes, I'm 11 or 12, 13 years older than you guys, so I did my SPM in 2011. So, truly, in SPM, when I had to learn about all these different subjects and subjects I took in SPM, it was much easier. My brain was less foggy and I was pretty much active. That is the next learning that I wanted to share with you, that exercise really helps with your brain. Exercise really makes you, I guess it is easier for you to learn new concepts. And because of that, I was awarded the best student. I got 10 A+ for my SPM. Honestly, I didn't know how that happened because I never was a top 10 in the school. I just did what I had. I know that I wanted to score at least straight A's, but never would I imagine I would get 10 A+. And yeah, Shukor, Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for all the support that the teachers gave me and the learning I had. So then, I went to KY. Truly, like Reza said just now, right? You go into the unknown, you do not know. I didn't plan on being in KY. I didn't want to be in a boarding school. I was from a daily school. I was a manager like that. I do not know how to pass my baju. So I didn't want to go to KY, but my uncle told me that he had a worker, an employee that studied in KY, and that employee is truly, truly amazing. And my parents came to KY. And they said that, Amirul, this is where you should be after SPM. I said, I don't want all my friends in Bahamas are going to Taylor's help. I want to be there. Then I went for an open day. I came all the way here for an open day, and I saw this huge, huge field, the field that you have. And they apparently rented it for $1 million a year. Yeah, so expensive. And I saw that field, and I told myself, wow, this is the place where I want to play football. So I said, okay, why not? Let's just try this A-level school. And I didn't regret. Truly, the coaching, the teachers, and even the learning that I learned from here is you'll get a wife in. So I will get my future wife. So in A-levels, I remember just like you guys, when I entered, I didn't know what I want to be. I didn't know what course I want to take up in university. So I told myself, you know what, just take subjects that would open or I guess be versatile in all the courses that you might want to take in uni. So I did maths, further maths, physics and economics. So I didn't know what to do, and I said, why not these 4 subjects? I went through it, I wing it, and I met all the other peers. Some of you are maybe batch 0.0s, so some of you guys came from asrama school, boarding school before this. You guys have binders of what you want to be. You guys are scholars who know exactly what course you want to take when you are in uni. And coming from a daily school, we didn't have any of these classes where, okay, this is what they will offer in university, this is what you can do in university. I never thought what I would be taking up in university. So the day that I told myself, the second learning that I wanted to teach when I was in KY is to challenge yourself. I said to myself, you know what, let me try and apply for Cambridge. And I did. I'm not so sure whether they have this now, but if you want to apply for Oxbridge, they have these classes. If you want to apply for engineering, you have an engineering class, mathematics class, or economics class. They do it at night with lecturers, and they teach you what to expect in university. So I did that. And I attended that class with alongside 20 other peers who know exactly why they want to do engineering. Why do you want to be an engineer, why do you want to do engineering course. And I felt super intimidated. It was such a daunting experience. But I quieted my mind. I told myself, you know what, just try. And luckily I did, and I got an offer to go to Cambridge to study engineering. And truly that opened so many doors. I got Shell scholarship right after, and it just opened so many doors for me. And in 2014, I went to Cambridge. And the first thing I did, I realized, you can't see it here, but the door says my name. When you apply for a UCAS, this thing, they will put your name. My name is Amirul bin Adnan Merican, yeah? So my first name is Amirul. So if you can see that, my name is Bin, Tong Sampah, basically. So they put their A as your first initial and bin Adnan Merican as your last name. Oh my god, I tried my hardest to try and change that to to make it Amirul, or at least remove the pain so that it's not a pain. But I passed through that. 4 years of Cambridge, it was people told me, SPM, if this is the level of difficulty for SPM, A levels would be a steep jump. But they never told me how Cambridge would be. Cambridge was another level higher, and it was truly, I remember the first supervision. So all my other peers, when they go into different university, they enjoy the first week of university. It's called Freshers Week, where you get to join societies, sign up for clubs, plan what you want to do, enjoy being in the university, meet new friends. But for us, we actually had homework before going into the university. And after the first lecture, you have this thing called supervision, where you are supervised by a supervisor with alongside two other students, so me and my 2 other friends. And the first thing the lecturer said when we came, it was the first week, I just got into Cambridge, I didn't know what to expect, and it was on the mathematics supervision. And I thought, okay, maths was what I did back in A-level, I'm quite good at that. And the supervisor told us 3, he said, some people, because he just lectured in the morning and he supervised us in the evening, he says to us, some people, I remember word for word, just leave their brains outside the lecture hall before coming in. And truly that set the tone. I was so scared, like wow, supervision is meant to help me, but it's not like it felt like it was an interview where you really need to be prepared for all the supervision. But honestly, when I'm in Cambridge, I do not know how I did it, but I just wing it, like what Reza said, just go with the flow, trust the process. But the learning that I want to teach or impart or share with you, when you go to your university, it's your exploration phase. I explored so many different things. I traveled the world. I used that opportunity to be in Europe, to travel. I think I traveled to 20 countries during that period of my university time. And I did that with my friends. I looked at other countries. I really saved the money I got from Shell scholarship. I don't need so much in uni so that I have money to travel. And I think if you guys get the opportunity to do that, because you would see how it is like, how the different culture is like, how the different people's like, just widen your mind. So that is something I would like for you guys, if possible, to do too. So I graduated, but my graduation year, just like Reza, lost the father at the age of 4. I was also very unlucky. I lost my mother in the final year of Cambridge, and that is the hardest thing that I had to go through. The final year, I never knew. I just came back from Harvard summer school the year before, and I got my parents to fly over to the US to travel to Boston and to New York with me. And my mom was there, and then we came back to KL. And I flew back to the UK for my final year. Shortly after, my brother called and said that 2 months in, I think you need to come back. Mommy is not well. So I came back, and for you to see your mother lying in the hospital, and she didn't want to tell any of the children what her sickness was, so we were clueless, my brother, my sister, and I, we didn't know, but everyone around us knew what exactly her sickness was, and I didn't know. And she said, Amirul, just finish your final year, graduate, mommy wants to come for your graduation. And so I did. I flew back in January, I came back and I did my final year. And a few weeks after, again my brother called, he said to come back home. I didn't have any news. I only found out that my mom had cancer and it spread out. And my siblings also just found out a few days before they told me. And 1 week after she passed away. So, honestly, so life, it can be difficult. I think when life is so good, suddenly they throw, like I said, when life gives you a lemon, make a lemonade. So I really didn't know what to do. But I hold on to what my mom told me, just graduate. So I worked really hard to graduate. I applied to all the places, to all the companies in the UK. I wanted to stay back in the UK, but I just wanted to be back in Malaysia to be with my family. So I came back. I didn't have anything. That time was just, I had nothing. I was such a planner since very young. I know exactly what I want to do, somewhat. I do not know exactly, but I know somewhat, this is what I should be aiming for. This is the goal, let's work hard for this, like one step at a time. But that time, all the companies I applied for, the interviews were supposed to happen in December. I didn't go to any. So I didn't have any jobs waiting for me, just like my peers did. And I came back. I graduated, I came back, and luckily I had an internship in Essential. So that is my next journey in my third year. And the intern or the supervisor told me, one day if you ever want to come back, just let me know. So I did. After I mustered the courage or muster the energy, the emotions to go back into doing so, I did. I joined Accenture in 2018, and I didn't regret it. So I left engineering, I joined to a consultancy. And like I told you, when in uni you need to explore, I explored so many different career talks on investment, on consultancy, on engineering. I applied to all the engineering companies in the UK, but I told myself that if I ever come back, I don't want to be an engineer. Because I see so many of my seniors who became an engineer in Malaysia, they didn't progress as well. So I came and I joined Accenture. And I learned so many different things in Accenture. I learned so many different industries, how to provide strategies. This was totally different. But the learnings that I want to share in your career is start reading a lot of books. And I started reading so many books, and the first book that I would recommend is, I think it's a very simple, it's a very easy read, is The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And before joining, there's a seed of change, or it is the spark or the flame that I had, is I don't want to be in corporate life forever. I know that I don't want to be, in the book it says a rat game. I don't want to be in the rat game forever. I want to do something that sparks joy for me, that has purpose and meaning for me. So I absorbed all the learnings that I could get in Accenture for 2 years. And then the next thing that I did, I came together with my friend. He studied in Imperial, and we started a business during pandemic. So this was in 2020. So we founded KYUEM. So what KYUEM does is we manufacture insect protein, black soldier fly larvae. You asked me when I was 17 years old, would I ever imagine having this business? I would say never in a million years. I don't like animals, and I have to touch larvae. I have to touch this maggot-like thing every day. I'm feeding them organic waste. I'm feeding them food waste. So you can imagine how smelly my factory was back then. This is the factory that I had. And I have a nephew, and he came over and he told my brother, he said, why is Uncle Miro working in such a smelly place? And that is how smelly it was. But we knew, when we look at all our other peers, they all had a startup revolving around building software, building an app, building blockchain, or using AI technology. We told ourselves that if we are to go into that, it will be such a stressful venture, because you have to always be on your feet. You always have to be better than the big conglomerates. So we decided to go into the agribusiness, and we landed on this. We saw a lot of this in the UK. We brought the idea back home, and we had our first factory in the local plant. So I passed KYUEM every day, every Monday. So I'll be in the local plant every Monday to Friday, and I come back just like how I was back in KY, but it's slightly up north. So this was my first venture by Look, and for 4 years I did this. and I got an opportunity to sell the company. So in the startup world, it's called exit. So I exited when there was an investor that came in and wanted to buy over the company. And my co-founder, they are all from the Philippines. And that time, last year, I want to settle down. I want to be back in KL, be with my future wife. So I said, okay, let me just sell it off. So I sold my first business, and then last year I joined this Dr. Suraya and Chico. Both of them were looking for another co-founder to scale the business. So what does Qarbotech do? Qarbotech, Dr. Suraya, she's a genius. She studied in Imperial. She invented this nanotechnology where if you screen this photosynthesis enhancer onto your plants, onto your leaves of the plants, the photosynthesis of that plants will increase. When you have more photosynthesis in the visible window, I didn't do biology back in A levels, you would absorb more carbon dioxide, absorb more water, absorb more nutrients and turn it into the oxygen that we breathe and the glucose for them to grow bigger. So that is what the technology is, and alhamdulillah, last year we had an incredible year. We managed to secure contracts and we're distributing it in Indonesia, in China, and Australia, of course in Malaysia where we started. And this is where I am now. Like Reza, I do not know where my journey will take me after this, but I hope that the learnings that I've gotten through the different phases of my life will impart some sparks in your life, because like you guys, I was once in your shoes. I was once in this very great hall. I embarrassed myself singing for my seniors who are leaving up on the stage along with other friends. I cannot sing truly, and I did it here. So I hope that the same, I guess, path that I have taken, it would make you guys learn a thing or two. So with that, I end my talk. Thank you so much.